Okay, welcome to the Prospectus series. I'm Jordan. So this is where I'm going to be discussing the various routes to land-based careers. Main thing when I'm going through these career paths is they're initially just an introduction to the career, and further details can always be provided about specific routes. So I'm a lecturer in the animal field, and I've taught across different land-based specialisms. The main thing is I regularly advise on career progressions for students, both past and present, and it's about advertising both college routes into the field as well as, in my opinion, recommendations for joining the field, how to best go about doing that, and what is offered to yourselves. The degrees mentioned are from universities that I've looked at and looked at their entry requirements that accept applicants from various courses and not solely one discipline. So, becoming a vet nurse, first steps is to understand the levels. So, first, the levels. For those not aware, level 1 is the equivalent to a certificate or equal to the lower levels of GCSE. So the D's, the E's, the F's, and G's in the old system, and the 3, 2, and 1 in the new system. So level 2 is the equivalent to higher qualifications. So it's a higher certificate, specifically GCSEs C and above, or 4 and above in the new system. Level 3 is your A-level equivalent. The vast majority of college courses are also level 3. So this is the primary area where I'm going to focus a lot of the core areas of this series and the core growth areas for your professional and personal development. Level 4 is your high national certificate. So these are also your access qualifications, and this is where you start entering the undergraduate route. But this is primarily more where your access qualifications are present. So I'll discuss what an access qualification is in a later video, how to go about that and what the purpose of them are. But moving on to your level 5 or your foundation degrees. So these are initial degrees which vast majority of students will start on and can then be developed further by specialising or topping them up. So once you have the top up, they can top up to a Bachelor's of Science, Bachelor's of Arts, depending on the specialism. Level 6 is your core conventional undergraduate degree. So it's a bachelor's degree in the various discipline that degree sits in. Generally, Bachelor's of Science, but it could be Bachelor's of Arts, Philosophy, and so on. Level 7 is a master's degree, and it's the start of your postgraduate career. There are a few routes that will touch on this, but I'll discuss them later on. Level 8 is your doctoral level, so PhD. So for those of you from level 1 and 2 courses, qualifications, your best approach is to pursue an animal nursing assistant course. So an animal nursing assistance qualification, or ANA, ANA, is primary route to pursue. So what is an ANA? ANA is primarily a level 2 qualification, meaning to achieve this you need to have already achieved or passed a level 1 certificate or have some GCSEs. Different colleges will have different entry requirements for that, and different level 2 awards will have different entry requirements for you to start studying with them. Level 2 award in an animal nursing assistance course. So now it's looking at the core aspects of these qualifications and making sure that they are provided by a reputable body. So they have a accrediting or awarding body, Ofqual endorsed. There's an easy way to look for that. So the qualification needs to be worth something to you and to your employers, because the Ofqual certification and the endorsement by an accredited awarding body is what your recruiters are going to look at. So as well as these quals, you need traits. Your traits need to be reliability, dedication, and teamwork. They're core qualities that you need to work as an ANA or a vet nurse or VN. They should also be the core skills that you present on your CV. This is so HR and CV programs can pull out those keywords when they're sifting through your application. So your normal working patterns can be days, nights and weekends in this role, and importantly your qualification should give you the skills or hands-on ability so you understand how to work with animals and how to handle the animals. So in most cases you'll be working with companion animals and generally other small animal species on VN or ANA qualifications. VNs, however, are going to probably benefit more from more large animal experiences, equine, agriculture, because there'll be more of a specialism for that. Practical skills developed in the vets or small animal businesses like kennels and catteries are going to bolster your application process as you're going through your career growth. Now your salary is 12,000 to 17,000 generally for ANAs, and that's just your general starting range. The work that will generally be involved in those specific roles are things such as feeding, cleaning, caring for the animal, recording its temperature, pulses, in some cases respiration, and carrying out daily health checks on that animal using the correct terminology so other people working with that animal know what is being said and what's being discussed, preventing the spread of disease and infection control, barrier nursing, making sure that this is all minimised as best as possible, recognising any signs of ill health in the animal, and providing the correct nutritional requirements to the animal in the veterinary environment, kennels, housing areas, etc. Also recognising and dealing with parasites, providing basic treatments, wormers, flea and tick treatments, etc., in assisting the animal teams or veterinary teams as required. This also requires you to work with the general public, so the pet owners, the animal charities, and other linked bodies such as veterinary surgeries and labs. So many private practices, for example, will work with animal welfare charities and offer different treatments. So that might be vaccination programs, microchipping, neuter and release schemes, and these can vary greatly from one charity to another and one practice to another. So the role of an animal nursing assistant is normally very busy, and some of those skills such as microchipping qualifications are worth getting and worth focusing on in your career growth. So you'll also generally be asked to help out with various clinical tasks. Now moving on to your level 3 qualifications. So before I go into what a Royal Veterinary Nurse does, you first need to understand about the level of your qualification that you're going to be seeking and how they differ. So firstly, a qualified veterinary nurse can be anyone who has a level 3 award to level 6. That level 3 award, however, is in veterinary nursing, not in animal management. The salary difference between degrees and qualified VNs are very negligible at this point, so it's 18,000 to 23,000. So the apprenticeships can vary from level 3 to level 6, but what I'll touch back on how that changes at a later point. So veterinary nurse, their general roles are preparing the animal for surgery, providing support to the animal and their owners before and after operations, assisting in the operating theatre as a scrubbed up veterinary nurse, so who's following the appropriate barrier nursing procedures, carrying out veterinary nurse consultations directly with the owners, administering medication and fluid therapy to patients who might need a variety of different care options, observing and recording the patient's vital signs, so temperature, pulse, respiration, similar to the ANA, and also pain and monitoring the animal throughout the procedure, applying bandages and wounds to wounds and fractures, also educating the animals and so the animal owners, on nutrition and preventative care, and providing basic behavioural advice as well to help them out and help them to understand their animal better and to help the animal recover quickly. Assisting during emergency procedures as well, and carrying out a range of diagnostics and different tests in the practice lab. So that might be blood samples, urinary samples, and can sometimes be a variety of other tests that might be carried out. Taking radiographs, dispensing medication, and demonstrate to the owners how to use these different medications correctly at the right doses. So supporting and managing teams might be more of a later responsibility as you develop into the role. So now, if you are paid the same, what's the difference? Now, the difference of level 3 routes are more practically based, and where your degree routes are more theory based. So level 3 gives you the option to learn as you earn, whereas degree routes gives you the option to look at additional qualifications and broadening your skill sets. This aspect can ultimately lead on to broader fields within the practice and give you more skills. And this is based on what you can study at that institution or at other institutions. Now, your top degrees are Harper Adams University with veterinary nursing with small animal rehab, Hartpury College, Research College, and Middlesex University, which is based in Leeds, as well as your College of West Anglia, which is endorsed by Anglia Ruskin University. But these are all in their core veterinary nursing routes. Harper Adams is the only one with a different additional component. So complementary qualifications and skills. So these are all about selling yourself more to your recruiter, to your job. So this is specialising where degree students can perhaps shine more. It'll allow them to have easier access than the level 3 students who may need to come out of practice to get those qualifications, whereas the degree student might develop this alongside their academics. So equally, it's the level of qualification that you can get in some practices. The higher your qual, the greater your pay packet. So some of the specialisms, which I'll also go through in later videos because it's more specific to those degree routes, but these are the ones that can enhance the qualification as a VN, are animal health, nutrition, epidemiology, pharmaceuticals, animal science, behaviour, physiotherapy, pathology, with some VN specialising more in conservation, zoology, agriculture and equine. So now looking at your postgrad qualifications, that can lead to a starting salary difference of 20,000 to 28,000 and some additional accreditation that you can pick up, and these are what you need to look for with these further qualifications: physiotherapy, NAVP, dog training, IMDT, and APDT, and CCAB for animal behaviour. Now I'll discuss all of them in their respective videos later. Hopefully this has been useful. Thank you for listening. Bye.